Numerous Ukrainian journalists are said to have been requesting the accreditation in the self-proclaimed People's Republic of Donetsk. Nearly 9,000 files of mail-in with the so-called Secret Service of the occupied territories have been published in the internet. The documents contain the names of the journalists and editions who have been accredited for reporting on the Russia-occupied territories. According to the information unveiled, the journalists asked to be accredited, as well as wrote the explanatory messages and sent the text of the news plots to be checked by the Secret Service of the self-proclaimed People's Republic of Donetsk. Tatiana Yegorova, the so-called Minister of State Security of the self-proclaimed DNR, is said to have coordinated the process. Leonid Muravyev provided correspondence with Russia occupation authorities on behalf of Inter TV channel. He was hired by Russian TV to work in Ukraine as a media advisor. The huge pile of the documents unveiled contains his letter named as explanatory message from Muravyev, where he is reporting on the murder of terrorist Mozhovy. Russian-hired journalist Muravyev describes how the journalist from Inter TV channel Roman Bochkala was punished for referring to the separatist militants as to the terrorists. Bochkala in turn says the mail-in may have taken place, since the characters mentioned there are real. On the contrary, he denies being punished and says Muravyev might have disguised himself under the name of Bochkala. He also insists this is the real drawback of Ukraine's security service, that is obliged to follow and arrest such Russian spies. Leonid Muravyev was expelled from Ukraine in the spring of 2015. Being a correspondent of Russian Fifth Channel, he reported on the events unfolding in Donbas region. In his coverages, Muravyev rudely distorted the facts by telling how Ukrainian soldiers allegedly killed the local residents. Ukraine's security service deported Muravyev to Russia, banning him from entering Ukraine's territory for the next 5 years. Ukrainian journalist Vladimir Runets was also accredited in the self-proclaimed People's Republic of Donetsk. Now he claims to have had hardly any cooperation with the Russian-backed separatists.
They gave me a paper made on a usual printer with the DNR logo. It was supposed to provide us with access to the civil objects. No one demanded money, neither did anyone claim to provide the text written. Despite being accredited, we were not led to the military objects that was available only for the Russian channels.
Another Ukrainian military correspondent, Ruslan Yarmolyuk, says he didn't ask for any accreditation. Nevertheless, he adds, the only way to report from the occupied territories was to say what they wished to hear, being threatened by a gun and controlled by Russian-backed security forces.
If you say what they want you to say, there is a chance you may return here for further work. However, if you say something they do not like, they will never let you in despite any real or fake accreditations.
Some foreign media are also said to have cooperated with Russian-backed occupants. According to the letters published on the web, the journalists from Polish Gazeta Wyborcza have made numerous attempts to get an access to the occupied territories, specifically offered to coordinate the news content with the occupation authorities. Meanwhile, Ukrainian media are evading the reaction of the foreign colleagues. Ukraine's Security Service and Ministry of Information Policy are set to investigate the supposed cooperation of Ukrainian media with the occupants.